Hello, I'm Kedar Bhatt and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'd like to show you a motorized slider. It's called as the Slidermini from a company called Smartta. It is used for those buttery smooth cinematic shots that you see in movies or some documentaries. I will show you some sample footage, talk about some specifications and some features of this slider and how to use it, and at the end of the video I will talk about some drawbacks and some feature requests which I feel should have been included in the slider. Maybe they can include it in their future updates. So stay tuned and here's some sample footage. Before proceeding, let me be absolutely clear. This is not a sponsored video. I paid $300 for this slider from my own pocket. That's about 20,000 rupees. On top of it, I had to pay 11,000 rupees customs duty to get it. So that's about it. I have included a link to the website in the description box below the video, so you can check it for yourselves. Now let's check what comes in the box. The main slider, a quick release plate to mount your camera on the slider, 3 cables for different cameras. I have the Sony one. I think the other ones are for Canon and Nikon. A USB Type-C charging cable to charge the built-in battery. Just look at the size of this slider. Compare this with my 100-400 Sony G Master lens. The total length of the slider is just about 10.5 inches. Now let's check out the specifications of the Slidermini. Its weight is about half a kg. It's very lightweight. Its length is 10.3 inches or 25 centimeter long. The total travel distance of the slider is about 8 inches or 20 centimeter. We can control the slider direction with the Smartta Go app by touching the left and right buttons. The slider can also be controlled by a power button without using the app. Here's the power button. On the bottom, it has a standard 3/8 inch female thread and a 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter for mounting it on a tripod. On the top, it has a 3/8 inch male screw, or if you unscrew it, it has got a 1/4 inch female thread to attach any tripod head to mount your camera. On the left, it has a power button and 4 LED indicators to show battery life. Let's switch on the power. Keep it pressed for about 3 seconds. And there are 4 LED lights showing the battery life. Here we have a USB-C type port to charge the built-in battery. The slider can also run on a power bank. There is a shutter release cable jack to connect the slider to your camera to start and end recording for the time lapse and stop motion photography. Inside the slider, it's got a 5-volt 1 ampere battery that lasts for about 48 hours, and it takes 1.5 hours to fully charge this battery. Now let's check how to connect this slider via Bluetooth to a Android or a iOS. I'll be using a Android phone. Press the power button for about 2 seconds, and there is a alert audio signal to say that it's powered on. And once that is done, open the Smartta Go app, and it asks for Smartta Go to turn on the Bluetooth. So let's allow it to turn on the Bluetooth, and now it will connect to the slider. It takes a while, at least on my Max mobile phone, and once the connection is established, you get a display. So now our mobile phone is connected to the Slidermini via a Bluetooth connection, and this is the main window of the Smartta Go Android app to control the movement of the slider. So when I hit the right arrow, the slider starts moving from left to right, and if I want, I can stop it midway by hitting the same direction arrow. It stops. I can get it back to left or continue by hitting to the right. It reaches the end and stops there. And if I go on the loop mode and hit start, now the slider will move from left to right and right to left continuously, non-stop. It takes about 10 seconds to reach the other end, and once it reaches the other end, it automatically returns from the other end and keeps on moving back and forth till you stop the loop mode. Once you're out of the loop mode, once again we can use the main app. In the menu there is a alert sounds button which we can switch off if we don't want the alert sounds from the Slidermini. There is an auto mode which we can switch off or switch on. When we switch on the auto mode, the Slidermini, if it is connected to the camera via a shutter release cable, and when we move, the moment we move our slider either left or right, the video recording starts automatically and ends automatically at the end of the motion. So these are the specifications and the features of this Slidermini motorized slider and the Smartta Go app. I'm extremely happy with its performance and particularly the small size of this slider. After using it for some time, I have some feature requests to the company to further enhance the slider, maybe in their future releases. A simple spirit level somewhere on the slider. Every time I have to use my mobile phone app to get the horizon straight. There is an audio signal when I switch on the slider, but when I switch off the slider, there is no audio signal. Next, I would love to have number boxes to key in accurate numbers for all the controls rather than the sliders. I mean, I have to struggle with the slider, with the touch sliders and moving the sliders to get the accurate numbers that I want for some particular settings. So I wish there was a text box where I can directly key in numbers, specific numbers, through the keyboard rather than sliding it. The default time lapse and stop motion settings can be modified. So if you see there are a lot of built-in settings for the different night mode. I think there is a star trail mode. So these settings you can modify it, tweak it to your taste. But what happens is when using it, once I tweak it, there is no way I can reset it to the factory setting. I mean the settings that the app comes with it. So I wish there was a small reset button to reset the settings to the default settings or the factory settings. You can check out the company's website. It's ismartta.com, and you can order one Slidermini for yourselves. You can check out the different features and some videos. There are other sliders in the market, particularly one from Edelchrome, which is very similar to the Slidermini. These are equally interesting, and there are a lot of different features and price tags and maybe the different load capacities, different speeds, and the modular systems that they have perhaps. One more very interesting slider from the company called Goodson, the Moza slider, the Moza gimbal company. Recently at the NAB 2019 show, they displayed this slider. It's a completely new concept of a slider. It's a monopod, and the monopod leg, it actually comes out and goes in, and you fit a camera here, and the monopod, it's a slider and a monopod. And so here you get a clear idea. You can slide the camera, you can slide your camera vertical, horizontal, and apparently it shows a gimbal also on top of it. So very smooth, buttery smooth cinematic shots with it. So this is a completely new concept, and very lightweight and robust, and according to the company, very silent. And it says that they say that it is inheriting the technology from the Mars rover for the telescopic monopod that goes up and down. So it can be used as a monopod as well as a slider, and I am very excited to have my hands on it whenever it arrives. It's not yet available in India. I think it's not yet released worldwide as I speak. So that's all about it. In my next video, I'll be showing you a hack that I discovered to increase the maximum speed of this slider, which is about 1 centimeter per second. With this hack, you can increase the speed to about 2 centimeter per second, 3 centimeter per second, or maybe more than that. That's all for today. I hope you liked this video. Do follow me on my Instagram and Facebook accounts, and thank you very much. Bye for now.